Hello everyone, Jeff Lang here with my Sonerai November 1463 Juliet. Getting ready for the first flight of the year after a couple of changes. Some new exhaust pipes, new intake manifolds. As you can see, it's now, if you can see, it's turbocharged now. Not really. Here's the engine installation, pretty simple. No electrical system, single magneto. Sorry about the wind. Here's the main fuel tank, auxiliary tank, lives underneath that main one, an extra 3.3 gallons, gives me a total of 13. Here's the wheel pants, quickly, hopefully it's focused enough to see. And the wing, here's the wing tips. Some people ask about the wing tips, want to see what they look like. Got a little damage to the paint there, hauling it out to California and back in the trailer, unfortunately. Let's take a little walk around. The tail, more like an extra tail. I can't take credit for that. The project had that shape when I got it, but I do like it. As you can see, all the gaps are sealed up. My tail wheel is getting pretty worn down. Just getting ready here. The paint is starting to show its age a little bit. I've got to patch it up here and there. This patch was actually from when the canopy came open in flight and took a little paint off. It's a two-stage paint, so it's relatively difficult to fix other than putting some vinyl over the top of it. And over here, there's the vent line for the fuel tank, runs up along the tank itself and then goes straight down to keep it from siphoning on takeoff. Hydraulic brakes in there, kind of get a look around. Again, fairings, wheel pants, full flow oil filter system. It's a twin turbo actually, got a turbo on this side too. Cooling baffles, ugly but watertight, which is what really counts. New propeller, it's not finished yet, it's got it straight off the machine, no sanding yet until I'm sure this is all right, and don't have new strips made here to seal this in either yet. But there it is. We're going to take it up for a flight in here a little bit. I'm going to cowl it up and come back. Well, I'm back. It's all cowled up and everything. Unfortunately, it looks like some impending doom coming from the maybe southwest there. So I don't know if we're going to get a flight in today. This might be two parts, but the cowl's on it. Give you a quick rundown of what you're looking at. Air gets in there for cooling for the oil. It goes across the bottom of the pan and then blows out the oil cooler at the bottom. My Home Depot $1.69 Ram air scoop, which is one of the things that's going to get changed this year because it's a pain. You can see the exhaust sitting in there. It is flush. This is not the first flush exhaust I've done, but it's much nicer than the old stuff. You can see there's a lot of damage from cracking. The pipe used to run along inside of here like this and exit in this location flush as well. So you see a lot of damage to the paint. Eventually this is going to have to be stripped and repainted. Now on this side as well, you can see a little damage here. This pipe stick out a little bit, but I'm not going to cry about that. You can see the interface for the cooling baffles here. Get a focus going. So it flows into the cooling baffles. These intakes are far too large, but I haven't got around to fine-tuning the cooling system other than making sure it cools the engine well. Cowl's held on by screws, not hinges. Let's climb underneath here. Here's the cooling outlet. I don't know if we can get enough light to do this in here, but as you can see, the outlet is considerably smaller than the inlet, which is how I know the inlets are too big. I didn't arrive at this by doing math. I put a temporary cowl flap on there and adjusted it in all different types of positions, and if it got any further than that, it just slowed the airplane down and didn't help cooling anymore, so that's what I arrived at. But there it is, ready for flight. I'm going to do actually one more test run on it because I haven't run it with the new pipes in the cowl on, so I'm going to do a test run here quick, shoot some footage from inside the cockpit, and maybe do a little taxi testing here, but I don't think we're going to get out before this weather, so be back in a sec. We'll go through the hand prop start sequence of the airplane. There's two fuel valves in here. The aux tank, I usually leave that open when it's on the ground, otherwise it vents fuel all over. This knob here turns on the main tank. Over here is the mixture and throttle. So the first thing we're going to do, the fuel's on now. Make sure that the mag and the tack are off. I'm going to run the mixture in and the throttle in for a little bit, pull it back out, stop it, and usually can tell if it took its prime. Walk around here and there's usually a little bit of fuel has dripped on the ground. Unfortunately, I can't video and start this thing at the same time because I have to start it with the mixture on off, and I have to essentially flip the prop and then dive for the mixture to keep it running. So I'll be back when I get in the cockpit. Alright, hopefully you can hear me. We're here in the cockpit now. I've got a safety latch system here for my canopy. I'm not going flying, so it's not latched yet. I have a personal rule that if I close the canopy, I latch it before, if I'm going to go flying right away. Having forgotten to latch it once, that scares me. You can see mixture here, throttle here, mag and tack switches, altimeter, my clock that's wrong, airspeed, vertical speed, my tack, G-meter, manifold pressure, oil pressure, head temp, selector switch, my knob fell off, exhaust temp, oil temp, and a fuel flow indicator that isn't hooked up yet. I've got a Garmin in here for navigation since it's so difficult to pull the map, kind of hard to see right now. My handheld radio is down here. Pretty simple. Stick in the middle here. Again, you can see the both fuel gauges, carbon monoxide detector. Make sure I'm getting no CO in here. So we'll take it for a little taxi, at least. Take a look. This is holding this at eye level now. That's what I can see over the nose in taxi, and it's really pretty good. I have to S-turn a little bit to see over the middle part, but as far as over the cheeks, I can pretty much see where I'm going there. I'll take a taxi around the hangar here. Not sure if you can see it out there, but pretty good sized thunderstorm coming this way, so that's why we're not going flying. We'll take her out and give her a good run up. We have to get a little bit of oil temperature going here. That's what it looks like off the wing. About what I can see. Turn it around here. Get ready to do a bit of a run up here. In case you're wondering, this is what my clearance looks like at the top of the canopy. You can see there's not much, so I gotta belt myself in pretty tight. You can see aft a little bit. It's not really claustrophobic in here. The bigger canopy lets me lift my hands up and move around a little bit, so that's kind of nice. Let's give her a little throttle. It's going to get really noisy here. There's 2,000. My heads are warm, so getting a solid 3,100 RPMs. It's set up a little bit rich on the ground with the ram air tube. It pushes more air in there, so I need a little bit more mixture when I get going in the air. So with that, we'll close it up. Take the plane back to the hangar before the thunderstorm gets here. Bye, everyone.